I have the sign up because I bought one of those boxes for Ludacris, and my wife told me this morning that she gave all the tickets away to her friends. So anybody that can get me in tonight, I would really like to hang with Ludacris.
Okay, sorry, I'm not sure how to follow that up. Eric, I don't know if you keep track of this stuff, but I was asking about DC when he was a Pitt, he was 0-2 against West Virginia, didn't have very good games.
I didn't have to look that up. I could have guessed that.
Okay, well, yeah. Just wondering how you thought he played today, and do you think he had a little extra edge to him because he was tired of losing to these guys?
I will say this, a DC Tony tonight was absolutely phenomenal. No plays run for him, 6 of 8 from the field, 7 of 8 from the foul line, 7 rebounds, 2 offensive, 19 points, 3 assists, and add in the fact that his primary defensive assignment was Taz Sherman. And you look at the 2 primary scorers, Sherman and McNeil, 1 4 for 11, 1 3 for 11. One of Sherman's threes was a loose ball scramble off an offensive rebound where it wasn't a true half court set. And then he got a basket at the end of the game. So phenomenal defense by a DC. And, you know, when you have a guy his size playing that position defensively, it's really changed who we are. I mean, 6 straight games of holding opponents under 40% from the field is kind of unheard of, to be honest with you. So it's really a great accomplishment from a defensive standpoint.
I know he scored 20 against Vanderbilt, but obviously this was a lot better game for you guys. Do you think this was maybe his best all-around game this season? And do you feel like he's getting back to playing like he was earlier?
Yeah, I thought he played great in Kansas City at both games there. Obviously, you know, he played good against Van. He played great tonight. I think he's in a comfort zone right now. We did a great job sharing the ball offensively. So a lot of really good things happen tonight when you take in the fact that, you know, obviously JD is the leading scorer in the league. For him to only play 3 minutes in that first half and for us to be able to survive and play well. I thought Chris Likes did a really good job in the first half while JD was over there resting his legs for the second half. And then I thought JD was awesome the first 3 minutes of the game. I mean, he got us off to a scorching start, made us, you know, offensively feel comfortable, feel in a zone from a rhythm standpoint. And then he helped us so much down the stretch in the second half.
Coach, that's a West Virginia team that's kind of built around toughness and physicality. And I mean, you guys had 34 free throw attempts tonight. You were plus 18 on the boards, plus 10 in the paint. But I guess that was an area of emphasis for you. And then what does that say about the toughness of your team?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about, you know, Coach Huggins' teams year after year after year after year after year after year, whether he's at, you know, Walsh College or whether he's at Akron or Cincinnati or West, like they're tough, man. He doesn't recruit guys that aren't tough. So what did we talk about the last 2 days? Drawing free throws and rebounding. And if we didn't rebound, we were not going to win flat out. And, you know, we have all these sheets up and do all this stuff in our walkthrough and going through all their offensive sets and their play call. It really didn't matter tonight. It was like, you better go rebound or you're not winning the game. And I thought defensive boards, we were phenomenal.
Devo didn't shoot the ball, I guess, particularly well. He was 2 for 9, but had 6 boards, 3 assists, and had your second best plus minus rating. I guess, what did you think of his play when he came in? I guess for JD, that was a pretty big spot for him to come in the first half.
Yeah, I thought in the first half, Devo and Chris did a great job. Kind of both those guys played the point guard position. We ran certain sets for Chris, then we ran certain sets with Devo at the point. But obviously, when JD went out, you know, there's concern of who's going to step up. And like I said, I thought Chris was really, really productive tonight, played his minutes extremely well. So both of them did a good job, Scott.
What did you think of Stanley? I know he, in the first half, picked up a little bit of the offensive slack with Note out.
Yeah, I thought Stan was awesome. I mean, you know, as a coach, you know, you go back home and you reevaluate stuff and you watch the film and, you know, maybe down the stretch, I should have played Stan a little bit more. I mean, that would be one of the things right off the bat that I'm thinking about. You know, maybe I could have done a little bit better job of putting him back in for 4 to 5 minutes because he deserved it. He earned it. He played so well in the first half. You know, we've been on him to rebound the ball better. He's doing what we asked. And so sometimes you got to go back home and reflect on things. And that's, quite frankly, that's one of the things that'll probably gnaw at me a little bit, that he didn't get a little bit more opportunity the last 11 minutes, because he certainly deserved it.
Hey, Eric, they cut it to 4 or 5 or 5 or 6 or something. And then Adis had, I think, 5 straight points there. How important was that? Just what'd you think of that kind of mini run he went on?
Yeah, we talked about even at halftime, that they were going to go on a run. There was a run in them because they play hard and they're well coached, and they have a couple really, really talented offensive players, and just, weather the storm. And, we came out of that. There was the timeout. We were all overly enthusiastic, pumped up. Crowd was into it. And then they kind of did a great job. What a tough team would do. They came out, they played hard. They chipped away. They hit a couple threes, but we didn't fold. I mean, I was in the huddle and guys were still smiling and focused. And they know, like, if you just get two defensive stops in a row, you can go back on your own run. And I give our guys a lot of credit. I also give West Virginia a lot of credit for keep coming at us when we got that thing up in double digits in the second half.
Adis in that little run.
Adis was awesome, because he pounds the offensive glass. It's one thing when a guy scores and you're running plays for him. It's another thing when those are bonus points. When a guy gets 19 and you never call a play for him. So those aren't things that we're manufacturing as a coaching staff. And a lot of his plays are kind of back-breaking plays for the opposing team, because their offensive rebounds and their loose ball garbage points that a DC outreacts people on.
A few games in a row, that starting lineup is just playing at such a different level relative to any other combination. Like, how do you describe the way they're playing? Because it's a combination you said you couldn't even see playing at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I mean, as my wife said, you're the dummy that didn't figure this out 10 games ago. It's on you. But in all reality, nobody on our coaching staff, no one in the building, nobody said, hey, let's try this thing. And I was being honest when I said, what would my dad do when we were struggling? Because he was my idol, and I know what he would have done. He would have just played the 5 biggest, strongest, most physical guys that you could put out there and not care about the position. And that's kind of what we did. And we stumbled onto something that I never would have thought a DC would have been playing the off guard when we started this summer, and never would have thought that combination of guys. But Trey Wade is, there's always these intangible guys, that regardless of position, everybody likes playing with, everybody trusts, never takes a bad shot. Trey Wade actually guarded McNeil down the stretch. So we had a power forward / backup center guarding their off guard and chasing them around screens. So a lot of really good things. Again, we probably should have figured it out a little bit earlier if we're smarter.
Coach, it's so unique to be able to step outside of league play in late January and play a game like this.
If you win, yep.
If you win, of course. Just curious, how much does that help the resume? And, just, I guess, what are your overall thoughts now after getting this one on just the body of work and non-conference play?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, beating West Virginia, Cincinnati, K-State, those are 3 really quality wins. The resume stuff and all that. Like, the only thing I'm worried about, and it's already up in the locker room, is Georgia. They beat Alabama at their place. We've got 6 games in a row. It's really hard to sustain focus and energy when you're winning game after game. Nobody in Athens gives a crap that we've won 6 in a row. They're going to come after us. We've got to get ready to play. Coach Crean's an excellent coach. So the resume stuff, I mean, maybe, when I was figuring out college basketball at Nevada, I watched all that stuff all the time, and it would drive you crazy. There's so much basketball to be played that, no offense to Joe Lenardi and all those dudes, but there's a lot of basketball still to be played. So how do we go beat Georgia is the only thing that, that any of us should care about. Not you guys, you got your job, but the only thing that we should care about, meaning our internal locker room.
I don't know. I might sound dumb following up with this, but I think when you guys were going through your rough patch, you were probably close to 100 in the net. Now I got to believe you're top 40 probably after this. I mean, how good does it feel to be back in the game? So,
yeah, I mean, I just think, again, when you lose 3 in a row, a lot of stuff's out there or whatever, you just got to come to work, Players we have to come to work as a staff. Players got to come and block out noise and figure out a way to get better. And we've done that. We know we have a very difficult schedule coming. We have road games on the horizon. We've got to get better every day, just like we did last year, regardless of outcome. Like, we have to get better on Monday when we practice than we were today, some way, shape, or form, whether it's pick and roll coverage or whatever. But certainly we're in a better spot than we were after we lost to Vandy.
15 boards career high. I know he's been rebounding, really well, but what'd you think of his rebounding?
Phenomenal. Again, 14 defensive rebounds against a really physical program that's known for its rebounding. He was phenomenal on the glass tonight. Probably took a career high in field goals attempted too. But he was awesome on the defensive backboards.
Huggins has won 13 games, I think 913. 900 something, and you've been on the bench against him twice. I know one time was as an assistant, but still, you've been on the bench against him twice, and you're 2-0. Your teams are 2-0. How does that make you feel?
The thing with Coach Huggins is just that I told you guys, like, I grew up in Ohio, and he knew my dad. My dad spoke so highly of him. Interesting. During the NBA lockout, when my dad was with Portland and I was with Orlando, during that lockout, we went and spent time with Coach Knight at Indiana, and then we went over to Cincinnati as well. And he's a phenomenal coach, and that's a lot of wins.
One more. It looked like my eyes aren't the best, but I think Clay was back on the bench. We didn't see Connor. Is Connor ill or?
Yeah, Connor is he's just sick. We've he doesn't have COVID. We've tested him 3 times.
He's just ill. Okay. Well,
He's got cold and all that other stuff.
okay. Well, it was good to have Clay back.
Yeah, it was good to see Clay.
I'm sure he was good to be seen too.
If anyone knows how to get Ludacris tickets, let me know. Put the word out on media.